another box. So I'm in the layer panel. I will duplicate this box and I will name it box 2. And then you are going to move it over the 4D text. And then you are going to double click on it to open the 3D field or 3D workspace. Now we have the box. I'm going to select it, and then I will use these controls to move it in front of the 4D text. Okay, I will move it somewhere around here. And now we will go to the light, and you are going to play with the light. So you want the light to come from the left side, just like this. Now let's see and render it. I will select the box and render. Okay, let's cancel the render, and I'm going to play with the position a bit. Make sure you're selecting and you're using the move tool. I can play with them with these controls, it's better. Let's move. As you can see, guys, I accidentally select the default camera and the camera moved up. I will Control Z. And then we need to save our camera preset. Click on the current view, and then you're going to save our camera. I will call it final. Come. And whenever we accidentally move our camera, we can get it back. Now I will move this a bit up so it is not touching the, or it's not blocking the 4D. Now I'm going to select all of the materials of the box, and we will choose another color. I'll just test it if it will look nice. If it is nice, we'll keep it. If not, we are going to make it red again. So let's choose this green, and let's render it and see. It actually looks nice, but the red is nicer, so I'm going to change it to red again. Control Z for that. And then you are going to go to the layer, and I will duplicate this one. We will create our third box. So I will click on this box and Command J. I will name it box 3. And then I will double click on it to bring back the 3D environment. Okay, now click on the box, and you are going to control it over here. I want this box to sit behind the D. Okay guys, you can skip this part if you want, because I'm going to take my time and fit it in the right place. You can also watch me if you want. One thing that I forgot to do is to bring this box behind the 4D in the layer panel. I'm going to do that. We are going to bring it here. Now let's go back to the 3D and let's move it to the right place. As I said guys, I'm going to take my time to fit in the right place, and I'm going to play with the scale as well. You can skip this and check the final result and do it like me, or you can also watch me doing this. Let's now render this. As you can see, the shadow is in the middle of the box. We need to fix that. The reason it's like that because the box is not sitting on the ground panel. We are going to move it on the ground. Let's cancel the render by pressing escape. Choose the move tool. And then I'm going to the controls. Click move to the ground. Now we fixed that. Let's rotate the box just like this. And you will render again to see how it looks like. Okay, I'm going to cancel the render and I will bring the box closer to the letter D. Press escape to cancel the render. My computer is getting really slow with this 3D thing on Photoshop. Now let's bring it closer to the letter D. Let's render. As you can see, we got the same problem again. The shadow is in the middle of the box. I'm going to cancel the render and I will move it to the ground. Now it should fix it. Now we need to move the box to the right side a bit because it is blocked a lot by the letter D. Okay, we are good like this. Now we are going to play with the light. I'm going to select the infinite light and then we will change the direction of the light. Let's see what will look good. We are playing with the light. We want the light and the shadow, both of them, to be visible for this box. Let's render and see. As you can see, the shadow is good, but the light is not very good. So I'm canceling the render and I'm going to take my time and play with the light and the shadow till I get the good combination. So you want the shadow to be in the front and the light to come from the back. You can also skip this part if you want. You can also watch me doing this. I think something like this will be good for me. Let's render and see. Okay, now is good. You can later go to the Photoshop layer and play with everything. You can add light and stuff in the Photoshop traditional way. Now we'll go back to the layer panel and we are going to render each 3D object individually. To start with the box number 2. Click on the render. This will take some time, that's why I'm going to stop the video and I will come back to render the other objects. And now I'm going to select the 4D text and then I will render it. Guys, I'm going to skip this part until I render everything. You will basically select each of the object and render it. So guys, after the full render of 4D, I realized that it's a bit dark. I'm going to double click on it, go back to the 3D field, and then I will choose the light. I'm going to play with the intensity. I will increase the intensity a bit. Make it 120. Let's select the 4D and render it and see. It's still dark. I'm going to cancel the render. Press escape to cancel it. And now let's go to the 3D letter and we are going to change the color. Let's select all of the materials and base color, let's make it something brighter. Let's render and see. It is still dark. Let's cancel this render. Press escape to cancel it, and you're going to choose a brighter or lighter gray. Let's see. Okay, I think this is good. Later we can play with the brightness in the Photoshop traditional way by adding levels or curves. I'm going to cancel this render and go back to the layers. And now we are going to render this for the object. So guys, I'm going to skip this part because it's the same. You'll just select each object and render it until the render finishes. Now we have all of the things rendered. The next step will be duplicating each of them, and then I will turn one copy to rasterize 3D to make the workflow lighter because it's very heavy. So right now I duplicated the 4D and then I will rasterize it to 3D. And by the way, you need to disable the 3D version of it. I'm going to do the same for everything. So I will do it for this box, disable the 3D version, and then I'm going to right click on it and rasterize it. For the other box we will do the same. Now I will move all of the rasterized version together, they will be here, and I will select all of the 3D ones and group them. Then you will disable them. We don't need this. This is just as a backup, will be there if you want to change anything. Okay guys, if you want you can call this the end, but in the next lesson we are going to do more stuff to this 3D scene. We are going to separate the 4 and the D and put them in the different perspective in this 3D scene, and we are going to move these books around a bit. I'll see you there.